Ever since I discovered that Golden Girls is on Disney Plus, it has been on my watch list for such a long time. And I decided to finally watch the first episode, and I have to say, I completely understand the appeal. And what I love about this, I will talk more specifically, of course, but what I love about this is that the entire cast is over a certain age. And that works fantastically well and should surely be a sign that more sitcoms need to have a more age-diverse cast. Let's face it, most sitcoms have a cast under a certain age. Golden Girls breaks that mold, and it does it fantastically well. This is obviously a very popular sitcom. I'm naturally very late to the party. The first episode, called The Engagement, aired in 1986, directed by Jay Sandrich, written by Susan Harris. And of course, we have an amazing cast, including Bea Arthur, the fantastic Betty White, Rue McClanahan, Estelle Getty, and we do also have some male cast members as well. But of course, it focuses on these Golden Girls, and primarily focuses on Dorothy, Rose, and Blanche. They all share this house in Miami. Two of them moved in with one of them after she put an advert in, I think, the paper, asking for housemates. And when this episode starts, they are already living together. And one of the characters' mothers also happens to turn up because her house is burnt down. I love how flippantly they treat that subject matter. It's the retirement home that burnt down, and the dialogue that, or monologue, I guess, that Dorothy's mother, called Sophia, first gives when she explains what happened, is one of the most funny things I've ever heard. Her attitude, her blasé approach to it, the way she describes what happened, the fact that, the comment she made about setting off a fire alarm, it's fantastic. And that's one of the reasons why this works so well, is that the script, the dialogue, the conversations, they're all so fabulous. There's a lot of quick wit, dry humour, sarcasm, absolutely fantastic, brilliantly funny. There is, of course, a main narrative to this first episode, and that is Blanche accepting a proposal, a marriage proposal. And it doesn't necessarily take the direction you think it would, but it's certainly an interesting look at this character. And of course, she is, without wanting to sound rude, much older than the average person who is being engaged to. So it's an interesting way to look at it, and the way that she's approaching this relationship, and of course the attitudes that her girlfriends have on this proposal. I do think that they have a fantastic bond, Dorothy, Rose, and Blanche, and you can definitely tell that some of them are slightly different personalities, they all work together really well as a unit, and I am desperate to see what happens in the next episode. I don't know if Sophia, Dorothy's mother, stays, but I'm assuming she does. I'm assuming it's all about the four of them, and I just think there's something fantastic about that, having three quite elderly protagonists, and then bringing in one of the mothers of one of those slightly more elderly protagonists. I just think that's fantastic, and there's so much humour in these performances that for no second did I question why this was popular. There are a lot of sitcoms and comedy shows that are really popular, and I will watch the first episode and I'll kind of assume that maybe it gets better as it goes on, because that first episode isn't very good. That is the complete opposite of what is the case with Golden Girls. Completely enamoured of the comedy style. Obviously the acting is fantastic, the cast, the characters, amazing. I don't know what to expect from future episodes. I expect this level of humour and this level of amazingness, but in terms of the narratives, the specific storylines, I don't know what it's going to cover. But I assume it's going to be slightly different to what a lot of sitcoms cover. And that is, again, I suspect, one of the reasons why this worked very well. It took me a long time to see this first episode of Golden Girls. And on the one hand, I'm upset by that, because I could have been enjoying this for much longer. But at the same time, I feel like I'm in the perfect mood for this. This is exactly what I'm wanting in my life right now. It is utterly splendid, and if you haven't seen Golden Girls, please give it a watch. It will take you about 3 seconds to realise why this is amazing. The first episode, The Engagement, has completely hooked me in. Cannot wait to watch the rest. I definitely really understand why Golden Girls is fabulous.